There is so much going on in the news today. I'm here in Colorado as we make our way back to our house in Utah, and I want to go over these big news stories with you. So bear with me as I'm not in my normal studio, but there's some really important stuff. And I want to say thank you guys so much for always liking and sharing these videos. It really helps me out, and I'm just so grateful for each and every one of you. Earlier today, former President Donald Trump stopped Representative Tom Emmer of Minnesota right in his tracks after he announced his run for Speaker of the House. Trump called Emmer a RINO, Republican in name only, citing a video which showed him championing a new model of electing presidents via the national popular vote. It has been nearly 20 years since a Republican president won the popular vote, which caused many GOP members to question Emmer's motives for wanting to circumvent the Electoral College, which helps to make things fair for each state, as all states don't have equal amounts of population or representation. Now, despite Emmer's pro-Constitution claims, this Democrat-linked viewpoint was just too radical, and for those reasons, Donald Trump pointed this out to the GOP, and they have now shut him down, and now a representative from Louisiana is in first place. Now, Representative Mike Johnson of Louisiana has joined the race and earned Trump's approval, along with getting the first-round draft of approval from Republican representatives. Now, what this means is while Trump has declined to formally endorse him, he has stayed loyal to Donald Trump. Now, I point this out because Donald Trump has a big pull when it comes to the Republican Party. But as you can see from the speakership struggle, he doesn't have the ultimate authority over the party. And so he's trying to rally other people in order to pass things that he believes are important for the Republican base. Now, he congratulated Johnson and labeled him a fine and very talented man who he believed would win by a significant margin. Trump stated, "My strong suggestion is to go with the leading candidate, Mike Johnson, and get it done fast. We need a Speaker of the House. We have bills that need to pass, a government that needs to be kept open. Are they going to send more or less money to Ukraine or to Israel and to Taiwan? Are they finally going to do something for the American people, for heaven's sakes?" But this is everything that we're dealing with right now. Now, as part of his victory speech for getting enough votes within the GOP, Mr. Johnson stated he will decentralize the power of his newfound role and give it back to the members of the House. Now, Nancy Pelosi, bless her heart, she made the speakership role one of the most important and powerful offices in the country, more than the President of the United States in some cases. And he announced that this initial order of business will involve introducing legislation that will help out the country of Israel. Now, following this, he outlined his intentions to address challenges along the southern border, formulate a bipartisan resolution to the nation's pressing issue of national debt. Basically, he believes this $33 trillion national debt is a huge issue for the United States. Also, the amount of illegal aliens coming into the United States and draining our welfare programs. We have no idea if they're from Iran, Iraq, Mexico, Venezuela. They try to identify them, but you can't identify ideology. And so they really don't know who is coming into the country. This is his number 2 concern. While Trump just won in Congress, his co-defendants in a Georgia election interference trial are having bad luck. Former Trump attorney Jenna Ellis just pled guilty to interfering in the 2020 election by making false claims and trying to set up false electorates to go to Washington, D.C. on January 6. For instance, Ellis admitted that her claims that 10,000 dead people voted in the election was false, and has accepted a plea deal where she will do 100 hours of community service and pay a small multi-$1,000 bill. but they're saying she is not going to jail for this. And ultimately, it looks like they're either trying to build a case where they can send Donald Trump to jail by having 17 people flip on him. We don't know what the final outcome will be, or if these people will say Trump wasn't involved, or yes, Trump was the ringleader behind all of this. But so far, 4 people have pled guilty, 4 have been given small fines, and none of them are going to jail. So as of right now, it's 0 for 4 when it comes to RICO charges. So, and that's what this really hangs on is, was Donald Trump the ringleader of a mafia RICO conspiracy to defraud the United States of America? But lawyer Ellis is only the start of the devastation for Donald Trump. A new report claims that Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, was granted immunity to testify under oath to Jack Smith's team. The Washington Post reporter Carol Leonig stated, Meadows was seen in text exchanges making fun of the claim that the election was stolen. And other reports even indicate he confronted Trump about his opinion that the election was stolen from Trump. Now, if this is true, he could testify that the former president knew more than what he's letting on, or his testimony may be, hey, I didn't agree with this, but the former president did believe. We don't really know. This is a story that I'll have to get more information and come back to you with. But this could be the strongest candidate for Trump. This could also be the strongest candidate against Donald Trump. California's Governor Gavin Newsom has finally opened up about his trip over to China to meet with the president of China, Xi Jinping. Now, leading up to the arrival, the communist country was very nice to Newsom by calling his personality sincere and warm in the media. According to Gavin Newsom, they discussed climate change, human rights violations, and the possibility of the release of California pastor David Lin, who's been imprisoned in China since 2006. In terms of his future plans, Newsom stated, I'll be meeting with 5 governors tomorrow, engaging in and advancing our collective efforts to basically lower carbon and focus on green energy situations. So the governor of California continues to believe climate change is the most pressing issue against the United States of America. President Joe Biden's White House is reportedly attempting to lower tension among staff regarding the controversial war between Israel and Hamas. A wellness meeting for aides who may have family involved in the war conflict took place. In one instance, Chief of Staff Jeff Zients hosted a call with Biden's secretaries to ensure they are reaching out to their Muslim, Arab, Palestinian, and Jewish staff members to make sure that they feel supported by members of American leadership. Now, back in Israel, the issue is being treated much differently. Famed climate activist Greta Thunberg has been removed as a role model of the education curriculum for the Ministry of Education after she posted her support for Palestine. So basically, the young girl who's been leading the charge on climate change, mocking America and other people, she's basically just got removed for supporting Hamas and saying that Israel was committing war crimes. Even though there is tension between the two countries, she did not differentiate between Palestine and Hamas, as many believe there is a differentiation. So she went on to release a statement. It said, her outrageous stance and apparent inability to differentiate between good and evil disqualifies her from representing the forces that strive for positive change in the world. So basically, they're turning on her and saying, you don't know what you're talking about when it comes to green energy. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to climate change. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to war crimes. Now, former House Speaker Nancy Pelosi commented on the situation in Israel, rightly calling Hamas barbaric. Instead of taking the extreme one-sided approach of Thunberg and other Democrat leaders, Pelosi called for a humanitarian pause with some form of justice for Israel, but not an attack on Palestine. As of right now, it does look like the United States is asking Israel to stand down so that they don't create a bigger humanitarian crisis. So they want justice, but they also want mercy for the people of Palestine. The Black Sea Fleet causing, I misread that. The UFC is in hot water as they just struck a deal with Bud Light. Now, many conservative Republicans and moderate Democrats that don't believe in the transgender movement that Bud Light was trying to force on beer drinkers, they signed an agreement with them, and now many people are calling for a boycott against the UFC. Let me know, has this gone too far? Is this over, or is this right in the center of the transgender heated debate and movement? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Now, before you go, I want to remind you that you are amazing. Thank you so much for liking and sharing these videos, supporting me while I'm out of town. I try to continue to bring you the most up-to-date information. I'm going to get back to my family, but please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and watch this video and also this video.